Hello everybody, thank you for joining us again. And in the previous video we checked to see if our settings in the very first video, if the settings was okay. So in the second video we checked to make sure everything was functioning well. We did a little bit of a preview with Messenger and everything flowed nicely. But this video here, I'm just gonna walk through the flows inside of the PayBot. Remember the PayBot template we installed? It comes with some flows inside of it. I just want us to do a quick tour of the flows inside of the PayBot folder. Okay, now as time goes on, we may be adding a few things here and there, but we will make sure we announce it so you will all be on the same page. So don't worry about missing out on anything. We're always finding ways to improve PayBot, and we want to listen and take your feedback, and based on that, based on the feedback we get from you all, we will polish PayBot and make it. Our goal is to make it the best bot e-commerce out there in the market. So far I haven't seen anything close to it, and we want to stay at the very top. So right here we're gonna look at some of the flows inside of the PayBot folder that we installed. Remember when we installed, when you go over the flows, PayBot created a folder right here for you. You didn't have to do anything. Just right after installation, it creates this folder for you. So once you click in there, you see a bunch of flows inside of the folder. Okay, so at the very top here is the after successful payment flow. Okay, so what this flow it represents here is that after a payment is completed, okay, we have to send a message to the customer so they know. It's sort of like a receipt, but it's sort of like a messenger style of receipt, just to acknowledge to the customer that, hey, your payment was successful, everything is okay, just hang on, your order is on the way, depending on what your business niche is. So right here we can see you can customize the content in here. If you want to, you could. There's so many things you can do. Manychat equips you. This is the reason why I was recommending that you upgrade to Pro, because it gives you a whole lot of tools to customize this section right here. Okay, so over here you might want to add a little bit more content. Payment was successful. Your order, something like your order. Your order is on the way. Okay, whatever you want to, however you want to customize it. If you're a restaurant, you want to add stuff like your address, business hours, phone number, in case they ordered and they're looking to come to the restaurant and pick up their order. So you want to furnish them with that information within the payment successful flow. Okay, so that's what this one here represents. Now we're going to have to set up the let's just stay inside this range. I'm gonna do a video about that, so I don't want us to be jumping back and forth, but we're gonna have to link your successful payment into the dashboard, okay, so that it triggers automatically. Okay, but I will cover that in another video, just so we stay focused here and make the video as short as possible, but I will cover that. So right here, that's, as you can see, after successful payment. You can also use Grove tool to create it, but I always recommend that as a way of best practice, always create it in the flow format. Okay, so even if you're doing a Grove tool, you can link it to a flow. It's very, very helpful to always create a flow. Okay, the next one here is the welcome message. Now the welcome message, it's not mandatory that you use PayBot's welcome message. Okay, most likely you will have your own welcome message, so we recommend that you customize your own welcome message. But you know, if you want to use, I would say just create your own welcome message. We just threw that in there, just, you know, just to let you know that hey, it's available. But you can create, or you can also customize this one right here if you want to, and make sure you hook it up to your welcome message under automation. I'll also cover that later on. Okay, so as you can see, this welcome message, right after they click, it starts the flow. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that that's available. You can customize it, you can create your own. It's all up to you, man. That's the beauty of Manychat. You know, it gives you such unbelievable flexibility. You could be as creative as you want. You know, the next one here is the get order status. Let me just quickly go back. Right, so that's the get order status right here. Okay, so with that, what it does is that with a get order status, it allows the customer to check the status of their order. Okay, so if a customer places an order and pays for it, okay, one of the status will likely be that, you know, the item is paid for. Okay, once the item is shipped, the status of the order changes right there. Okay, so the customer can voluntarily at any time, you can create, add this to your menu if you want. You know, so if you have an e-commerce store, you can add it to your menu section where the customer can come in and quickly check the status of their order. It's sort of like tracking, but it's not really necessarily. It's just for them to find out, hey, I did pay for my order on Monday. I just want to find out if it's been shipped. Usually they will get a shipping notification, but some customers, you know, when they order stuff, they're eager. They always want to follow up with the order, see what's going on. You know, they could click over here, and if the status has changed from, let's say, from paid to shipped, it will indicate PayBot is set up to, once you set it up in the admin area, which I will cover later on. I will show you how it all functions very well under orders. I'll cover that later on, but it will change the status of the order, you know, so the customer can see what's going on. All right, so that's a very useful flow you can integrate, you know, in parts of your e-commerce, your main e-commerce bot. Okay, so the next one here is a start flow. I think we covered a little bit of this in the previous video. This one links to the main catalog of your page. I'm going to create another video that will show you. Let me just click over it so just to refresh your mind. This is kind of like the catalog. This is kind of where, like, your inventory, where you display your inventory. All right, I will create a video that will show you how to integrate, how to edit this content right here, you know, and put your own products in there, how to organize your products, how to change the picture, edit the pricing, you know, and all those stuff. I will create a separate video for that. Okay, but that's what that represents, the start flow. Okay, let's go back real quick. Okay, so this one here is a checkout flow. What the checkout flow does is it shows you from the point the customer decides to check out. Okay, you notice we did a little bit of a test run in the messenger display. Let me just open that up real quick. Messenger, just give it a few minutes. Okay, there you go. All right, so once we get right here, from this point over here where it says checkout, okay, so when it says checkout, and then immediately it's going to ask you for number, you know, and all that until you get to the payment option. Okay, so as you can see, it starts with a condition. Hold on, let's open it up real quick and check it out. Okay, so it starts with a condition, and it says that the condition says that if ms_phone is unknown, that means if there is no value in there, no value, then we want to ask them for it. Okay, so it says select phone, says select phone number or enter another. Okay, so if it's unknown, then we want to ask them for it. If not, we want to suggest one that they already have. Okay, and then tell them to choose, you know, if they want to use that. Okay, now this part here is very important, because you always want to have the most recent information about your customer, especially those who do repeat purchase. You know, people change numbers, people relocate, you know, people sometimes could change their email. So you always want the most accurate, the most recent, fresh data for your customers. Okay, it keeps your database fresh. Okay, so the same thing, we could see a condition here, you know, about the address. If the address is unknown, we want to ask for it, because of course you do need the address to ship the item. If there are repeat purchase, a repeat customer, if it's a repeat purchase, most likely they would have already given you the address, the first time. So what the system does is Manychat system will store that data for you. Okay, and so whenever they come again to do a purchase, it will pull up that address and show it to them and say, hey, do you want to use this address? If it's okay, you know, they will confirm that. And then also they get the option to add a comment right here. Okay, if they want to add it, we just, you know, add that comment. And this one here is a tag. I mean, all these things can be customized, okay, to however you want it. If you want to add another step before they get to the payment option, maybe like a refund policy, for example, okay, you can customize that this flow. Okay, you are free to customize it. Okay, if you want to like save the original version and then create your own flow, okay, so you could just make a copy of this, save the original one. Let me just go ahead and do real quick. So you do this, okay, just do that, press Control Copy, and then click anywhere on here, Control V. Okay, oops, right here, just pull. Okay, so you could make a photocopy of this. Okay, you could keep the original version underneath here, and then you can customize your own version. Okay, now always remember to move this guy to the one you want to customize. Okay, so it will start. Okay, you need this thing to start your flow. Okay, so if you want to do this, hey, it's up to you, man. You're free to be as creative as you want. Okay, all right, so let's move on. I'm gonna go back here. We just did checkout flow. Okay, we've done welcome, get other status, get shopping cart. This is another interesting flow right here. Okay, so what the get shopping cart flow is, it allows the customer at any given time within the ordering process, they can check to see what they have available in their cart, okay, at any given time. So I will create another video again to show you a sample of how it actually works. Okay, so let me just proceed here, but just to give you an overview of what it does. So at any time during the flow, and they want to say, you know what, let me see what I have in my cart. That's what this get shopping cart does. It will pull up what they've got saved in their cart and let them see what's going on. All right, before they proceed. All right, this one here is another interesting and very useful flow. Let me edit this content right here. Let's just call it abandoned cart. Right, yeah, I'm just going to rename it abandoned cart just to make it easier for you all to follow. Okay, so okay, abandoned cart. So what abandoned cart does is it's whenever somebody initiates an order, okay, and they do not complete the order, maybe they got disrupted, you know, probably the kids came in and maybe they got some phone call for whatever reason, maybe they were driving and they tried to make a purchase and they never completed the purchase. Okay, the PayBot will detect that and they will the PayBot will send them a notification, an alert, and say, hey, you know, you did not complete your order, you know, do you want to continue? Okay, so it's a very good way to increase your conversion. Okay, whenever you're able to remind them, because you know we all live in a busy world, we are always running up and down, we easily get distracted. So it's a very useful way to help increase. It could even end up increasing your conversion rate by 25-30%, you know, maybe even up to, who knows, 40%, who knows. But I think you'll find it very useful. Okay, so whenever they abandon their cart, this one triggers. You can see it in right here. You can set this one to the time you want. Okay, so if you want to remind them a day after, if you want to remind them 2 hours after, it's all up to you, man. Decide what you want for your business. You can also set a time range, okay, where you want the notification to be sent out. This one could also be very useful because you do not want to be sending notifications, at a time that's, you know, like midnight. You don't want to be doing that to disturb people. Okay, so you want to be careful. Now, Facebook just introduced some rules about, you know, 24. It used to be 24 plus 1 rule, and now they got rid of the one. You know, the rules were kind of a bit confusing, but we'll try. I will try to create another video to help you guys out, you know, to help you navigate through them. It's very important because, you know, if you do not comply with their rules, although it's confusing, you know, in some cases it's probably not necessary, but you know, since you were using the system, you gotta, you know, abide by the rules so you do not risk getting your page banned. So if you're gonna be setting anything like this, I highly recommend that you keep it within the 24-hour period. Okay, so instead of well, here it says 1 day, I could set it to something like let's say 23 hours. Okay, so you stay right well within you know, the rule, the 24-hour rule. You if you do it this way, you're well inside of that time range. Okay, because the last contact, you know, the rule says that you cannot message somebody after 24 hours of them interacting with your bot. So if you set it to 23, then you fall within that range. You see what I mean, right? So I would recommend you keep it this way and don't make it go past 24 hours. Okay, so you can stay within the rule. Okay, I will create another video you know, about that, and we'll go over that in depth. Okay, so that's what the abandoned cart does. Very, very useful flow. I think you should you know, customize and add that to your e-commerce. All right, I think we've gone over get shopping cart, get the status of your orders. It's kind of similar to get order status, you know, pretty much in the same ballpark. Here is the pay cash flow. Okay, now this one is optional. You don't even have to bother yourself about this. But if you have a restaurant, or you know, your customers you know, order it on, you know, on Messenger, and then they stop by at your at the restaurant or the shop to pick up, this could be useful. Okay, for e-commerce, I don't know about this. I don't think paying cash is useful for e-commerce, because an e-commerce store want them to pay electronically. All right, but we just put it in there for those, because I built a restaurant bot, and I found this paying cash very helpful. Sometimes the restaurant owner don't even want you to do, you know, card processing or mobile card processing, you know, so it can be very useful. The next one here is clear cart. Okay, just as the name says, you might want to clear the entire cart. Okay, so you could use this, you know, the customer, that's the customer, can use the clear cart flow like a link, and once they click on that, it will clear the cart. Let me quickly go so you can see something like this right here where it says clear cart. So once we click on that, it will just clear whatever you have in your cart. Okay, it will clear that. It says your shopping cart is empty. So you should see something like this after you clear cart. Okay, we'll do a video about all of those later on. This one here you can pretty much ignore. It just you know, it will fetch your the messenger ID. You know, if you want to find that out about it, you can insert that somewhere in your flow, but it's not really necessary right now. Some of the flows you do not have to use them. Okay, we just put them in there just in case. It's not that you must, you know, it's not a mandatory flow you have to use. Okay, so you know your e-commerce better than anyone else. You know exactly how you want your business to go. So pick whatever you think will be useful. You know, just choose what you want and use it for your business. As time goes on, we will be updating, you know, adding new stuff in here to help your business grow, you know, and become better. Okay, so let me wrap this video up, and in the other video we will be looking at a few other things. We'll be moving over to the dashboard to show you a few other things that's very exciting. Okay, and also very important. We got to set all those things up so everything flows nicely. All right, have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.